What is up, everybody? We are back. We got the President's Cup coming up in a couple weeks, and then I don't think there's another tournament for a couple weeks after that. So this will be the last PGA DFS model breakdown for maybe a month or so. But yeah, we're back. We're starting the fall swing season. I think it's now called the FedEx Cup Fall, and a lot on the line for guys that haven't secured their spot into the signature events. There are spots on the line for that, and as well as their PGA Tour cards. So there's still a lot on the line. These tournaments don't get a lot of buzz. They don't get a lot of attention, especially with the NFL starting. So if you do, put the extra work in, do a little extra research, I think this could be a profitable time of year for those of you that do play DFS golf. Now this week we have the Pro Core Championship. Used to be the Fortinet. Before that, I think it was the Safeway. But it's the same event, always been held at Silverado Resort and Spa in Napa Valley. The course is a par 72, 7,123 yards. So on a par adjusted basis, certainly one of the shorter courses that we're going to see on the PGA Tour. The fairways here are extremely narrow, 24 to 27 yards wide on average. The greens are pretty small, 5,400 square feet on average. They feature a mix of bent and POA. We know how a lot of golfers on the PGA Tour feel about POA greens. So golfers that grew up playing on the West Coast, golfers that have decent splits on POA, certainly aren't bad plays this week. Not a lot of water in play on this course. The scoring, we typically see 17 under or better get the winning score. It's not overly easy, but I would still say it's on the easier side of things. And yeah, so that'll just about do it for the course preview. We've seen a nice mix of winners here, so there's not really a strong course fit. It's hard to hit fairways for everyone. I think the average driving accuracy last year was under 50%. So you would think that would help the bombers a little bit, but the course is so short that you don't really need to bomb it all that much. So I'm not really looking at any strong course fit. As far as the stats go, 6% off the tee, 6% total driving. I've got 14% to approach, 3% green regulation, 6% around the green, 8% putting. So pretty decent weights for a short game this week, just because the greens are going to be tough to hit, and guys that putt well tend to play well at this event. Then pretty small weights to birdie or better in bogey avoidance. Course history of 5%, course fit is 0%. Weak fields, so this is just golfers that play the best in weak fields. You have Eric Cole, Wyndham Clark, Brendan Todd, Sahith Theegala, Lucas Glover, and that's over the last 18 months. Golfers that play the best on courses where the fairways are tough to hit. So I thought that kind of made sense this week. You have Corey Connors, CZ Pan, Max Homa, Michael Kim, and Camilo Villegas. As always, you got your form here. You got short-term form, mid-term form, long-term form. Let's get into the overall plays. I don't have golfer notes. I'm not going to have any of those until the new year, until NFL slows down a little bit, just because they are so time-consuming, and I do have a lot of NFL content to get to throughout the week. So at the very top, Corey Connors, love him this week, 9,800, 11.8. Certainly a better price point on DraftKings than on FanDuel. You can start with him. He can be the second man into your lineup. Looks like he's going to be pretty popular, but he's been in great form. I think he's played 22 events, hasn't missed a cut all year. Probably the best ball striker in the field. I like Wyndham Clark as well. After everyone was talking about his form, he's finished T14 or better in 6 of his last 7 starts. He's also won twice in California, so I think he's very interesting this week. Theegala coming off of a really strong finish at the Tour Championship. Won here last year, 3 for 3 here. Also a California guy. If you want to look his way, I guess not also a California guy. He is a California guy. Connors and Clark are not. Luke Clanton, amateur, just continues to play well. I haven't seen him in a while, but in these weaker field events, I think you can certainly take a shot on him. So JJ Spawn, man, he didn't have one single top 30 finish in his first 14 starts of the season. All of a sudden, he's rattled off 5 straight made cuts, 6 straight made cuts with 3 top 10 finishes during that stretch, back-to-back top 10 finishes. He's had some time off. One of my favorite plays. He's got a good track record out west, too. He's played well in Phoenix, played well in Nevada, played well in California. So I do think it's a really good spot for JJ Spawn at 9,000. I like McNeely, another Cali kid. A couple top 15s recently. Pretty good course history, nearly won here in 2022. Runner-up to Max Homa. Moving down, Mac Meisner, been playing some great golf. He's never played here before, but ton of upside for the price point. I do think his ownership's going to be higher than what we have it at as of Monday night. I like Johnny Vegas. He can bomb it, really good ball striker. Just all comes down to the short game. Chan Kim projects really well. I mean, he was a guy that was projecting well for me for months when he was not playing well. So it's good to see him post some high finishes. The birdie or better rate is really appealing. 30 in birdie or better rate over the last 3 months. Second in bogey avoidance. So if you can continue that, going to play well again this week. No strong take on Mitchell. Homa, I bumped him up 12%, still rating that as a terrible value. He's just losing like 8 strokes each week off the tee. It's really hard to trust right now. Obviously got picked for the President's Cup, so he's going to want to play a couple events to get into form. I guess this is the only event before the President's Cup. So he's going to want to play well this week. Certainly an event that he's played well at in the past, one here in 2022. I do like Patrick Rogers, a guy that moved to California when he was young, played his college golf at Stanford. So certainly a guy I don't mind looking to. He's played well here in the past too. Eric Cole, been great until the BMW Championship. He was 46 out of 50 guys, but prior to that, he had been playing well. Again, he's very good in weak field. So I'll play some Eric Cole this week. CT Pan projects well. Don't know what to do with that. Don't really trust him. The results have been very hit or miss, but he does carry some upside at 7,700. I do like Doug Gim. A couple top 20 finishes at this event. Been playing a little bit better recently. Tends to play well in the swing season. Minwoo Lee, another guy. Bumped him up. Still projects as a pretty poor value. Same goes for Harris English. But if I'm playing any of these guys that I bumped up, it's going to be Rogers and then maybe a little bit of English. Matt Kuchar, I don't know. Playing well recently. He's played well here in the past. I guess you can make a case for him, but never feels good clicking his name. Kind of the same goes for Brendan Todd at 9,100. That seems very expensive, but he's been playing a little bit better recently. I do like Silverman at 7,100, a guy that has been making a ton of cuts recently. Hasn't played here since 2019, but on these shorter courses, weaker fields, that's when I want to play Silverman. Shipley just turned pro, very talented amateur. He was a low am at the Masters and the U.S. Open, or maybe it was the Open Championship. Can't remember. One of them was the Masters because he ended up playing with Tiger Woods on the weekend. That was pretty cool. Stevens, Fishburne, Hoagie, no strong takes there. Sventon's good iron player. Bridgman rates out pretty well for me. We've seen Rico Hoey really strike the ball well. Won one of the alternate field events 9 weeks ago. Hoster, probably saved him for Texas. So John Kiefer, he's been playing on the PGA Tour America. He's got an invite into this field because of how well he's played over there. I think he's made 11 starts. He has 10 top 10 finishes. So I'll play some of him. It doesn't look like anybody's going to play him. The outright market kind of likes him. He's 80-1 right now. So if nobody's going to play him, I'll definitely be overweight on John Kiefer. Moore is a guy that projects well for me. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else. Lashley, I always like him in California. He won at Pebble Beach. Not that this is a conflict Pebble, but Polo Greens for sure. I like Dylan Wu at 7,000. I think he makes some sense. Carson Young played here last year. Tends to play pretty well in these weaker fields. That should just about do it. So want to wish everyone the best of luck this week. I know this video was a little bit shorter than usual, but that's going to be the case probably most of these fall events. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Hop in the RG Discord or reach out to me on Twitter, and we'll catch you for the next event in a month or so. Good luck.